Hi, everybody. Jennifer Schaus here. We're coming to you live today from Washington, D.C. And thank you for joining us in our complimentary webinar series. We're covering big tech companies and federal government contracting. We're about a little bit more than halfway through the series. All of our webinars are complimentary and recorded. You can find all of our recordings on our YouTube channel. If you click on the link in front of you, you'll get access to any new videos that we upload to the platform. And all of our PowerPoints are found over on slideshare.net. Again, that's slideshare.net. And you can log into SlideShare with your LinkedIn credentials. That also is complimentary, and that will give you access to the PowerPoint. A little bit about us. We've been in federal contract consulting for over 20 years. We are based in DC, as I mentioned earlier, and primarily work with companies that are, let's say, about 5 million and up, established government contractors, with an emphasis on helping them get onto the GSA schedule. We also have services for companies that are selling to federal contractors. We allow them to advertise in our newsletter and our webinars, as well as sponsor our events. Speaking of events, we have one coming up on Monday, December 9th over at the Kennedy Center. And here is a list of our corporate sponsors. If you want to meet with the government, here is who will be there. It's very heavy on Department of Defense. So we've got NAVSEA, NAVAIR, Air Force, Army, DCSA, the National Guard, and then some civilian agencies and independent, including AID, HHS, the SBA, the VA, and then our friends over at Amtrak. You can get your tickets if you want by sending us an email to the hello@jenniferschaus, and we'll send you the registration link. If you are interested in getting on any of these contract vehicles, please shoot us an email to the hello@jenniferschaus.com, and we'll provide you with information on that. A little bit about this series. As you may know by now, if you've been following along for the last, I think it's 9 weeks now, we're covering big tech companies. These are Wednesdays, 12 o'clock Eastern, and we'll wrap up on December 18th. Again, all the videos are posted on our YouTube channel, and the PowerPoints are over on SlideShare. Here's where we are in the series. Everything in gray we've completed. You can find those recordings on our website under the section called Big Tech. What remains is a couple more webinars to get through, and we're going to skip the week of Thanksgiving, which is November 27th. We'll pick back up then again in December on the 4th with Adobe, and we'll finish out with 3 webinars in December. Again, these are all complimentary and recorded. Where do we get the data? It's coming from our friends over at Fed Consult, as well as GovSpend. GovSpend provides government procurement data and analytics to organizations buying and selling in the public sector. With transparency and accountability at the center of what they do, GovSpend places data-driven insights into the hands of federal, state, local, and education customers so that they can win more government contracts. The federal solution, which is on the FedMine platform, harnesses data from 19 federal sources and empowers federal agencies to seamlessly explore the market, gain valuable insights through comprehensive spending analysis, and access detailed vendor profiles in real time. We want to thank our in-kind sponsors and partners. And so this includes our friends over at GovEvents. That's the premier platform for posting events related to government and government contracting. You can find all of our webinars and our events on govevents.com, as well as recordings from our past 700 plus webinars. We also want to thank Tom Johnson and his team at Set Aside Alert. That's the go-to publication for contracting opportunities for small women-owned, veteran-owned, HUBZone, and 8A firms. Visit setasidealert.com for more information. Also, the Fairfax County Economic Development Group is a great resource for businesses in Northern Virginia. Please visit their calendar to learn about events and trainings, including this webinar series. The Virginia Apex Accelerator provides mentoring, training, and counseling. You can visit their training calendar at the virginiaapex.org website, or contact them at the email that you see on your screen, or give them a call. They are located at the George Mason University in Fairfax, Virginia, and we work with them for a variety of on a variety of programs, including training and also our events. Our corporate sponsors, which is what allows these webinars to happen complimentary, are thanks to the companies that you see here. You'll hear about them in just a moment. So FedBiz Access, the FedBiz Access Advantage empowers small businesses with the tools, resources, and expertise needed to succeed in the federal marketplace. With over 23 years of experience, the team has helped clients secure over $34.7 billion in awards. They guide businesses through the complexities of government contracting with innovative marketing solutions, personalized support, and a steadfast commitment to your success. By fostering strong relationships and delivering exceptional results, they've become a trusted partner for businesses seeking to expand their federal contracting opportunities. Experience the FedBiz Access difference and unlock your potential today. Call them direct at the phone number you see there on your screen, or visit them online at fedbizaccess.com. Okay, C3 Integrated Solutions. If you're thinking about getting in on big tech contracts with DoD, you need to prepare for CMMC. Compliance is a requirement, and so it's important to start now, no matter where you are in the process, whether you're still in the planning mode or you've started and stopped, C3 can help. C3 provides a prescribed path to compliance that relieves 80% of all of your CMMC Level 2 assessment objectives, including 100% of all IT-related objectives, and supports you through the remaining 20%. Ensure your competitive advantage, lock in valuable DoD contracts, and get started with CMMC today. Contact C3 for more information by visiting their website, which you can see there on your screen. FedPub Seminars, FPS, for over 65 years, Federal Publication Seminars, FPS, has been the premier provider of government contracts training, widely regarded as the industry's gold standard. Expert-led courses offer comprehensive education for all levels, from beginners to advanced professionals, covering essential, up-to-date topics crucial to government contracting. Learn more about FPS and their training solutions at fedpubseminars.com. R. Turner Consulting is a GovCon growth consultancy delivering the full spectrum of business development, capture, and proposal services from a team of experienced consultants led by Mr. Robert Turner. The firm's offerings include fixed price IDIQ proposals, curated market intelligence delivering scalable pipeline support, as well as fpdsplus.com, which is a free government contracting procurement data analytics application, as well as rfqplus.ai, an AI-driven subscription delivering qualified IDIQ task orders to your inbox with your own personal AI assistant that works for you on your document collection and keeps your data private. R. Turner Consulting helps you bid smarter and win more. GovPro AI is revolutionizing government contracting. They transform your past proposals into a powerful AI engine, delivering customized pink team drafts in just 48 hours. By cutting drafting time by 70% and reducing costs by half, GovPro AI allows you to focus on what truly matters: strategy and win themes. Their human-in-the-loop approach ensures compliance and quality while seamlessly integrating with your existing processes. Built by government contracting experts for government contractors, they truly understand your challenges. So if you want to boost your win rates and expand your federal business, visit GovPro AI today. You can schedule a demo and see how they can supercharge your proposal process. Don't get left behind. WorkPlan. WorkPlan is a modern cloud-based ERP system hosted by Amazon Web Services that allows federal contractors to efficiently run and grow their business. It was built by federal contractors for contractors. WorkPlan allows contractors to remain FAR and DCAA compliant. Additionally, it allows remote access through desktop, cell phone, iPad, or laptop. Gain actionable insights from reports that cover multi-year contracts, multiple periods, the entire enterprise, or drill down for more detail. Report on direct and indirect project cost and project profitability in real time. Learn more and request a demo at workplan.com. Okay, typically we have our Chisa Meehan from Fed Consult with us. She is traveling for, I think, another week or two, so I'm going to be analyzing the data that she has sent over. And today, as you may know, we are covering CISCO. This is 9th in the lineup of 15 companies on the Big Tech series. Basic information here, which we grabbed from their website, focused on federal government, and you just have to navigate over to solutions, scroll down to the industries, and select government. They've got it laid out pretty nicely. It's not that hard to get to what they're doing and find more information on their federal government offerings. They've got the piece there on FedRAMP, as well as the services that they are providing. The various contract vehicles that they're on are listed here, and then when you click on the tab for GSA schedules, you'll see a list of the contract holders that are there reselling their services. The large businesses at the top, and then the small businesses there at the bottom. So they are primarily not selling direct, and you'll see that in some of the data that we're going to cover in a moment. If you want to be a reseller for CISCO, there is a section on their website that allows you to navigate to that point, and I've got some slides on that a little bit later. When we look at what they're doing more specifically in the public sector, everything there from agency collaboration to public safety and threat detection and incident response. So again, you just want to click through all of those, especially if you want to work with them. You need to be educated and well-versed on the services that they are providing and have read up a little bit on them. We're just giving you some data points to get started and some entry rows of kind of where to go and some pieces to look at related to the federal government. As far as AI initiatives, it kind of screams out to you on their homepage. So when you click on the Explore CISCO AI, this is what you get. Again, if you're offering something that is related to AI, we highly suggest that you get well-versed on what they are doing so that you are talking the talk and walking the walk as it relates to AI and what they are doing in that space. They're working with NVIDIA on some service offerings. So again, just click through these to be as educated as possible before you decide to contact them and have a conversation or ask them to include you in any partner programs. When we hop over to LinkedIn, they have their main CISCO page. They do not have a separate page for anything related to federal government, although they do have a CISCO partner page. So if you're interested again in working with them, we'd encourage you to follow that, as well as just their main page here to stay abreast of any news and posts that they may be making related to federal contracting. When we look at their stock price, thanks to Yahoo Finance, they are publicly traded on the NASDAQ exchange, and you're going to see the usual suspects here that are the top 5 institutional stockholders. Many of the companies here that we saw in the past 8 weeks are showing up here as well. Current stock price is hovering around $55, $56. I didn't look at it this morning, but that's kind of where we are. When we go back in time to when they first had a heartbeat on the stock market on the NASDAQ, you can see where they've been, where they had some highlights in the year 2000 at the start of the century, and then kind of where they are now. So again, we don't need you to memorize their stock price, or we're not encouraging anyone to buy it or sell it. It's just being cognizant of the entire company and kind of different pieces of information that could help you along your way in being educated about them. Lobbying information is grabbed from the public website called Open Secrets. Not spending a ton of money here, and as you can see in 2011 and 2013, they did kind of peak at where their spend was. And so again, just another piece of the pie of getting a more broad picture of where they spend their money and kind of how it relates to the other companies that we've looked at. This is probably the company that has spent the least amount of money on lobbying, but they still are spending money. It's just not a big piece of their overall budget. Okay, when we hop over to sam.gov, System for Award Management, their UEI number here is what we look at. There's really only one company that shows up, where some of the other companies that we looked at had subsidiaries or sister subsidiaries that were federally related. So when we look at the civilian agencies, if you look at the total numbers, you see that there's not a lot to write home about until you look at 2024, where State Department makes a fairly significant purchase, almost $8 million, when they've really not spent even a fraction of that over the last several fiscal years. You see some adjustments there with some of the other departments, but not a whole lot to write home about here. I would encourage you to dig in further on the State Department piece. CISCO is typically not sold directly, more as they function more as a subcontractor in the federal space, and we'll see that as we dig into some of the data in some of the other slides. Excuse me. And we look at the independent agencies. Again, not a lot there. When we look, this is the U.S. AGM, Agency for Global Media, which used to be the Broadcasting Board of Governors, an adjustment there. So you'd probably have to go back a couple fiscal years to find out if there was something that was spent that then received an adjustment there in fiscal year 2022. Defense agency contracts, same thing here. Not more happening here than what's happening on the civilian side, and you'd have to dig in a little bit further to find out what exactly is happening at DoD. But it was dwindling down from 2020 to 2021 and 2022. Kind of gives you half of that, half of the spend that DoD had. A little bit on the board with the Air Force, but not a lot. And again, I'd encourage you to dig in further on DoD. It's probably some DLA, DISA, or OSD that had made those purchases. Again, we're just giving you some highlights to kind of get you started on your research, so that when you do work with them, you've got some places to start. Top industry codes, again, really no surprises here as far as the NAICS codes that show up, and where the bulk of the dollars are, primarily with software publishing under the 511210 and other computer related services. And this continues on for their product service codes. Again, no surprises here where the bulk of the dollars show up. So the D319 for IT and telecom software maintenance services. And I'm guessing that in 2020, fiscal year 2020, where you see the 373 million, that is, I'm guessing, going to kind of map back to DoD. Again, it would be incumbent upon you, the potential partner, reseller, subcontractor, to dig in further to those numbers to get the full picture. So as I mentioned, they're really not a main prime contractor. However, there were some exceptions to that. They primarily function as a subcontractor in the federal space. And here are the companies that they work with, which really boiled down to General Dynamics, Accenture, and Leidos, but with the bulk of the work happening as a sub to General Dynamics. And then where are they doing most of the work for? This is in the subcontracting role. So you can see, obviously, Air Force and education are really the bulk of where it's at. Where in some of those earlier slides, we didn't even see, I don't think, education show up, in Air Force was very, very minimal as a prime. So again, further investigation will be needed. These are simply the highlights. The industry codes, again, the more or less the same NAICS codes that we saw in the past from those earlier slides. So just be cognizant of that. And a lot of this is going to be based on where the contracting officer deems that their work is the work that's happening on the contract falls under. So one contracting officer may say this is actually R&D, where another one might call it computer system design services. So when we look at the contracts award and we just do keyword searches, which is, I think, always a wise thing to do. We did a search for Cisco and WebEx, or CISA did for us, and here's kind of what shows up. So there were 186 companies. These are the top, I think, 10 or so that you see here. Almost $1 billion, with the bulk of it kind of happening in the top 4 or 5 companies. Some companies here, maybe you guys have heard of. Iron Bow Technologies kind of sticks out to me. Some of the others, maybe we have seen in passing. So again, we'd encourage you to dig a little bit deeper because there could be some opportunities there to work with these companies as well if you're providing services or some sort of software that will be complementary to Cisco. And here, just a little bit further down the rabbit hole on the industry codes and the top agencies where these contracts are happening. The bulk of it obviously happening at the other computer related services. You guys can read the slides. And then the top agencies where the work is happening. And those are in the millions of dollars. Okay, Exhibit 53, what is that? These are your the agency IC projected investments into IT systems. We've covered this for the last couple companies that we looked at, and this will give you a good idea, almost like an acquisition forecast, but focused primarily on IT. So I would pay attention to this and dig in a little bit deeper on this information. You can, again, get this information from the GovSpend platform, but you'll see Cisco usually show up in some of these, even just the name of the program. If it's not listed actually in the program, then it's definitely going to be somewhere in the description. So, for example, some of the ones there at the bottom, the Fort Knox Range Safety Dictaphone System, Cisco is probably operating in the background, and it's as you would click on that as a drop down to learn a little bit more about it, you would then find that Cisco is playing a role in that program. As far as federal sector news, a couple highlights that we grabbed that were relevant to just this calendar year, some going back a little bit further, but again, if you are planning to work with them, it's probably wise to sign up for Google Alerts so that you are notified anytime the company that you want to work with, whether it's Cisco or ABC company, is popping up in the news for anything positive and or negative. And just more information here, still relevant within 2024. Obviously, one's going back to February, but again, it's good to have a good picture. This is from Federal News Network. They did a talk there with Cisco. So again, get as much information as you can about the companies before you decide to pursue and work with them. What we saw on the partner program options, which I mentioned earlier in the presentation. So if you're interested in working with them, they've got 4 different avenues that you can choose: integrator, provider, developer, or advisor. It's all on their website. And that's basically all that we have for Cisco, and it was kind of anticlimactic simply because they function more as a subcontractor. It does not mean that there are not opportunities for small businesses. There certainly are. There's no harm in being a tier 2 or 3 subcontractor. Just make sure that it makes business sense for you, as well as strategic, that it's strategically logical for you to go down that path. We want to thank everybody for attending. We want to thank GovSpend for providing the data, FedConsult for slicing the data related to Cisco out of the GovSpend platform. Today's webinar has been recorded. If you're watching it on the YouTube channel live, we'd love for you to like the video and leave us a comment. Tell us what you think. Let us know if you have any questions. And the PowerPoint is over on slideshare.net. Reminder that our networking event is Monday, December 9th at the Kennedy Center in partnership with BidSpeed, and In-kind partner is the Virginia Apex Accelerator. We expect about 300 to 400 attendees, so we hope to see you there. Don't forget to get your ticket because it will sell out. The link to purchase your ticket is there on the screen in front of you, which is the 2024 winterfederal.eventbrite.com. Here's who you can meet with, heavy on the DoD side, and we look forward to seeing you there. Thanks again for attending. We hope to see you next Wednesday.